Hello friends, so the other day I experienced an unfortunate epiphany. You see, I've always considered myself a man, which hopefully, for most of you, won't come as a surprise. I, in general, also feel pretty human, because, well, that's what I am. At least, that's how I feel most of the time. And that makes sense, because in the real world, every man is also human, and in a sense, manhood is a subcategory of humanhood, so to speak. But in the world of historical linguistics, things work pretty differently, apparently. You see, when I found out the etymology of man and human, well, I was presented with a little bit of an existential crisis. As I learned, being a man has nothing to do with being human, etymologically at least. Indeed, the words aren't related at all. Our word man, and for that matter, the word woman, are both Germanic. Man comes through the Middle English man and the Old English man from the Proto-West Germanic Mann and the Proto-Germanic Mann, which, interestingly, both mention nothing about gender, but instead were words used to refer to a human being in general, whether man or woman. The word's genderless connotation makes sense when you look at some other descendants of this root, such as the modern German pronoun Mann, denoting one person, regardless of that person's gender. And, logically, our word woman is related to man. Superficially, it looks like the word man with a woe put in front of it. And so what's a woe? Well, back in the day, and specifically in the days of Old English, woe was pronounced wife, which meant, well, woman, but also wife, like the wife that King Ethelred of Northumbria married in 762 AD, whose name was Elfled, as mentioned in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. And as you might expect, the Old English word gradually developed into the modern word wife. So man and woman are related. That's good to know. And because they're related, they're both human, right? Well, like manhood, womanhood has nothing to do with humanity, so to speak. And speaking of humanity, unlike man and woman, human has a Latin root, specifically the adjective humanus, a likely derivative of the noun homo, meaning human being, as in Homo sapiens. Thanks to its Latin roots, it has multiple cognates in Romance languages, including some words meaning man and other words meaning human, like the French homme and humain and the Italian uomo and umano, among others. So I guess, in those Romance languages, being a man is linked to being a human, whereas in English, man and woman are definitely in the same family, but being human, well, that is something completely different. So yeah, where does that leave me? Am I a man and therefore not human, or am I human and therefore not a man? Well, I've decided it doesn't really matter. I might be an amateur etymologist, but I'm not going to let etymology define who I am, nor will I let it dictate my life choices. So just to set the record straight, my wife is a woman, and I am a man. At least, biologically, that's what I've been told. And I promise, we're not related, no matter what etymology might say. Thanks for watching.